There we go. I hope you heard all of that. Okay. Let's go ahead and make our way to our chair and settle into our space. I'm just going to double check my sound here. Okay, great. We're good now. Okay. As you sit down, I'm going to ring the bell. You can close your eyes if you're comfortable, or maybe find a spot on the floor in front of you where your eyes naturally rest, and let your eyelids be heavy. And listen to the sound for as long as you can hear it. And let the sound bring you into the present moment. Let it pull your mind from the past and pull it in from the future to center you in your body into the present, the here and the now. And take a gentle body scan from head to toe, noticing how your body feels today. It might be different than yesterday. You might feel different tensions, different sensations today. Remembering that we approach our practice without judgment or criticism. We're just acknowledging, we're noticing, we're taking in information, taking inventory. Feel your feet firmly planted on the ground underneath you, if that means putting a blanket or something to bring the ground closer up to you. If you have shorter legs, go ahead and do so. And remember the pelvis, remember the shape of the pelvis, the bony parts of the pelvis. And maybe you begin to notice the bony prominences, the sit bones pressing into the chair underneath you. Begin to mindfully rock the pelvis forward and back, almost like a cat-cow, but it's just your pelvis. Flicking the tailbone back behind you, tucking the tailbone underneath. Again, if this feels painful, make it a little smaller. If you need to remove the flesh out from underneath your sit bones so you can feel it better, go ahead and do so. Gentle rocking forward and back. Envisioning your pelvis as it's moving. As the pelvic bowl kind of spills backwards as you tuck the tailbone, and the bowl spills forward as you flick the tailbone out. And then begin to shift the weight into the left sit bone and into the right sit bone. And this doesn't have to be a big movement at all. It's kind of a rocking back and forth. This is just to bring your awareness into the pelvis, to raise and expand that as we continue to practice. And if you want to find those hip walks that we found yesterday, by leaning over to the left, I gently pick up my right and scoot it back into the other side. Walking my hips back to the back of the chair. And then I begin to walk them forward to the front of the chair. And notice if walking one hip, picking it up and scooting it forward feels easier or more challenging than the other. That is information, right? Interesting. Remember that one side, okay? And then find a place that feels supported. Maybe that's in the middle of the chair. To start out, I like to have my back away from the back of the chair. So I'm using my back muscles to sit up nice and tall. My shoulders are stacked over my hips and ears stacked over my shoulders. Take a big breath in. Exhale, soften, release the shoulders away from the ears. Blow out the candle or through your imaginary straw. And begin to bring in an intention, whatever you'd like to cultivate more of. It can be the same as yesterday or in the first class if you're watching the replay. Or maybe you play with a different intention today. Maybe you want to draw in more playfulness into your day or your life. Maybe gratitude or joy, or maybe patience. Anything that you that you feel you need more of in this moment, in this season of life. Bringing it to the forefront of your mind as if on the front of your forehead was a projection screen and you were sitting inside your mind watching this movie play out. And this movie is of you after you've cultivated this intention in your life. How would that feel in your body to have more of this? How would that impact those around you, those closest to you? We'll seal this intention in with 3 centering breaths. On your next inhale, circle, sweep the arms up as if you're gathering this intention. On the exhale, the palms come to touch and you draw it in down to your heart center, like you're pulling it like a seed, pulling it from your mind down into your heart to take root. Inhale, your own pace. Exhale, bring it down through heart center. I'm just going to move my mic. After your third breath, just a gentle bow of the head in honor of all of our intentions that are here today and our intentions for those who are watching the replay as well. And when you're ready, we're going to come to our breath awareness. So you can go ahead and bring your hands to your chest. I'm going to watch out for my mic. That's why my hands are kind of odd here. You can close your eyes if you're comfortable. And just focus on breathing into your hands and expanding in the rib cage. Remember, nice big breaths in through the nose and nice smooth breaths out like you're blowing out a candle or through an imaginary straw. Notice if the breath feels choppy at all or constricted or tight. Can you smooth it out and find some ease within the breath? Bring your awareness to the left lung. Notice any sensations. Into the right lung, just watching it, observing it as you inhale and as you exhale. Notice if one side feels easier than the other, more expansive. Does one side feel a little more constricted than the other? That may be a sign that that side of your pelvic floor is a little tighter. You might also remember if there was a side during your hip walks that felt a little more challenging. Remember, this is all information. We're putting together the puzzle pieces to know exactly what it is your body needs for healing. We just have to learn to read the signs. Now, go ahead and bring your hands to your belly, maybe around your belly button, and breathe into your hands. Expand, bringing the breath all the way down into the belly and the pelvis. Breathe in deep, expand. Slow exhale. And notice how deep you feel the breath going. Maybe it's a little deeper than yesterday. Can you soften your pelvic floor? And if we're used to shallow breathing over a long period of time, years, decades, then this new expansion of breathing more deeply can take some time, because our fascia, our connective tissue, will kind of begin to harden or solidify without movement and lubrication. And it can take some time to break that up and open it up, but it definitely is possible, and it may happen quicker than you think. So continue breathing into the belly. Notice if it's inflating all the way down into the pelvis. Notice where there feels constriction, maybe on the left or right side. Maybe it all feels constricted. Noticing those things. Now we are going to take our strap to practice a rib cage breath. And this is where you can find a scarf or a necktie, maybe even a dog leash if it's soft and not leather. Leather would work, but it might feel uncomfortable. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my strap and I'm going to bring it behind, however you want to do that. And I'm going to bring it around my low ribs. So find your low ribs. And I'm going to wrap and cross my strap in front of me and bring my hands like so. So you see it's crossed and it's around my low ribs. What I'm going to do here is now I feel the strap around my low ribs, and I'm going to try to inhale and breathe into the strap. And with the tension that I have holding with my hands, I might even feel the strap being tugged on. So inhale into the strap, 360 degrees. Fill up the lungs, exhale, feel the strap kind of cinch back together. Continue finding a rhythm, finding this expansive rhythm with your breath, breathing into the rib cage. Even if you don't feel anything right now, visualize it, okay? Because that helps the brain connect to these parts of the body. And what this is doing is we have all these little muscles in between the rib cage called intercostals. And you can imagine kind of opening up a set of gills, right? These muscles help expand and open, and they help us breathe deeply and optimally. Remember that the breath is a huge part of pelvic health, and we do it so subconsciously that we don't think about or realize how we're breathing most of the time, but our breath can be healing. Two more times. Expand into the strap. How does this feel? Deflate. Keep traction onto the strap. Feel that cinching in. Maybe even pull on the strap a little bit on the exhale. Okay, I think that's more than 2 times. You can release the strap. And I want to introduce a little bit of pelvic contraction today. And this is where I ask that you know yourself, okay? If you still aren't feeling a lot of sensation in the pelvic floor, then I'm going to ask that you just stick with the visualization and the expansion, okay? And if you are feeling that full relaxation on that inhale, you can feel that opening and widening, expanding of the pelvic floor, then it's safe to go ahead and find some gentle pelvic contraction. And how I want to do this is it's on the exhale. It's a gentle exhale contraction. And on the inhale, you re-let go, re-soften. What happens a lot is we find tension in the pelvic floor because they're the first muscles to engage when we're stressed or anxious, and then we're always walking around with a tight pelvic floor. This is common anyway, generally speaking. And what happens is we don't re-soften and relax. So we're training the muscles to be able to contract, but also to relax. Remember, a healthy muscle has full range of motion. It can lengthen and soften and contract and shorten. So what this will look like on your exhale, remember, are layers of the pelvic floor. So remember, the first layer goes front to back from the pubic bones to the tailbone, the coccyx. And our second layer connects this two sit bones across. So think about this crossing of strings, like there's strings attached to the pubis, to the tailbone, and from side to side, from tailbone to tailbone. And on the exhale, you're going to think of maybe they're rubber bands and they're tightening and squeezing together. So all four corners of the diamond are pulling in. And on the exhale, on the inhale, they expand, release. Okay, so maybe we try that with a few breaths. And if you are still working on softening, then just focus on that softening, right? That expansion. All right. And even if you don't feel anything, just imagine it. Help the brain connect to those muscles. So inhale, the diaphragm's open, expand, reach down, relax, relax, relax. Exhale, you either continue relaxing or you feel those strings gently pulling together towards the center, towards that perineum. Continue, inhale, relax, relax, relax. And notice if your glutes or your abs are trying to do the work here. That's very common. See if you can relax those muscles. Your pelvic floor needs to find its own intelligence here and quit relying on these big mover muscles. Inhale, open, expand. Exhale, strings pull towards the center. Soften the belly, soften the glutes, the hips, the butt. One more time. And please don't be discouraged if you didn't feel anything. Consistency. I promise it will come if you keep showing up, okay? Let's go ahead and find some cat-cow, hands on our knees. Today is about spinal opening. Inhale, pull your hands back, elbows reach back, broad across the collarbones. Get the chin out of the chest, flick the tailbone back. Exhale, tuck and round, chin tucks in. Hands reach away from you. Inhale, think about broadening, widening through the sit bones, the strings, the pelvic floor. Exhale. If you want to add in the little pelvic contraction with the squeezing of the strings on the exhale and the cat, go ahead. Inhale, breathe, feel the spine. Open up, exhale, round. And this may be a lot. Maybe you find one or two things to focus on until you feel like you can add in another focus, right? Maybe you just notice how the spine feels, if you feel any opening, any spaciousness, or where it feels a little sticky or stuck. We'll come back to this towards the end of class to notice if it feels any different. So notice those spots now. Come back to center. We're going to add in a variation that we didn't do yesterday, and it's just an option, okay? So you can see how it feels. If it feels like a lot, maybe make the movement smaller, or go back to a normal cat-cow here. So we'll find these cactus arms on cow spine. Send the elbows back, broad and across the chest. It's a bigger sensation. Inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to give yourself a hug and round cat spine, tuck and round in, curl in on yourself. Inhale, open up cactus arms, reach the elbows back. Exhale, hug yourself, tuck and round. You might feel this more in the shoulder girdle and the upper back, the shoulder blades. Big breath in, exhale, round. One more time, inhale, big open. Exhale, tuck and round. I think I said one more. Go ahead and release. Notice how you feel. Let's find our barrel rolls now, like we did yesterday, connecting all the sides. Inhale to cow. Over to the side, so the rib cage bumps over to the right. Cat spine, round, lean back. Rib cage bumps over to the left and bring it forward to cow. Now connect all the pieces, make it nice and fluid, stirring the pot here. Make it as big or as little as what feels good. And it can be done nice and slow, feeling the sensation all the way around, really checking in with the spine, noticing where does it feel sticky? Where in the piece of the pie do I feel a little stuck? Or it can be done more quickly. That might be, and that might feel really good. So whatever, maybe you experiment with both and begin to circle the other direction. So turn it around and stir the pot the other direction. And imagine the spine kind of twirling around in there as you move. Again, it's kind of like a bicycle chain. The vertebra stack, and there's little joints in between each vertebra, and we want to find that fluidity and movement through the spine. Let the circles get smaller and smaller until you find a nice neutral spine sitting up nice and tall, and little side body stretches. So remember, we just kind of started with we'll start with the right shoulder, dropping down, left shoulder up, and I'm going to pull that right hand back towards my hip. Exhale to center, other side. Inhale, left shoulder drops, left hand pulls back towards my hip. Right arm can reach long towards the knee. And back and forth, feeling, what does this feel like? Like when you bend, like you're opening up a set of gills on that other side of the rib cage. And find the rib cage breath here if you can. Expanding through the ribs. If this feels good and you want to make the movement a little bit bigger, next time you reach to the left, maybe the right arm sweeps up towards the sky, reaching long through the fingers. You can bring it back down, back to center. As you reach towards the other side, the other arm sweeps up and over. Getting long, opening up that set of gills. Let's do one more each side. I like to inhale and open. And exhale back up to center. Awesome. Another thing, remember how I talked about the connection of the jaw and the pelvic floor? A good breathing exercise to help you relax through the jaw, it's called horse lips. And you relax through the face, you take a big inhale. Just like it sounds, right? I'll come a little bit closer so you can see. Take a nice big inhale. You can add this on your cat-cow inhale. Exhale. This is really great if you're feeling tension or pain in your pelvic floor, and you can always add that breathing style in through any of these practices. I'll cue it sometimes, but just know that it's available. Okay. Next, we're going to find a side seat on the chair. So you can move yourself on the chair. I'm going to move my chair just so I can face you and you can see me. So first I'm going to have my left side facing the back of the chair. And if you need to kind of do it catty corner, so you stay on the chair and you don't feel like you're falling off, that's totally fine. This will still work. So for me, I'm going to do that. And so the corner of the chair, the front of the chair is in between my legs. And go ahead and find that nice wide stance. Maybe kind of crawl your feet a little bit forward of the knees so you feel nice and stable here, not like you're going to fall off. Find that spine. We're going to start with a bit more of a twist. So we want to start very gentle. And maybe we do this first with our hands at our heart. Take an inhale. And exhale, just twist the torso to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, gentle twist to the left. Feel the muscles working here and the hips stay planted where they are. Inhale. Okay, come back to center. This time, inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to the left, and maybe your hands, maybe that back hand, left hand finds the chair, maybe the right hand finds somewhere on the chair to kind of hold on to find a little traction, a little grip. And you're going to find that twist for a longer hold. So you can use this traction to help you find a bit more space in your twist, but we're not cranking and pulling ourselves into any posture that our body is not ready for. So it's just a gentle hold and just breathe to allow the muscles to soften and open up to this posture. If it feels okay on the neck looks over that back left shoulder. And find your rib cage breath here. Remember that breathing into the strap. That can help bring more space into the thoracic spine, which is the spine that moves through the rib cage. Soften your pelvic floor. One more rib cage breath. Release, come back forward. Notice how the spine feels. I know for me, I feel a big opening after that. How does your breath feel? Do you feel like you have more space for the breath? Does the rib cage breath feel more available? Just noticing. We're going to do a side body stretch next. So what I'm going to do, inhale, arms up. I'm going to take my outside right hand, so it's going to go across my body, and I'm going to grab onto the chair. So it's kind of reaching across. If you need to adjust so you can reach any, like maybe scooting yourself back, or if you need to move any flesh out of the way, do what you need to do here. I put my right foot out a bit wider so I feel more stable. On your exhale, reach that left arm up and over towards the right for a nice side body stretch on that left side. The left sit bone is staying rooted and heavy into your chair as you stretch up and out from that hip, out through the fingers. Again, opening up this set of gills on the left side. Big breath in to the left rib cage. Exhale, come back to center. Release, let it go. Whew, that can be a lot. Maybe feel the blood kind of rushing back down through the left arm. Awesome. We're going to switch to the other side. You can stand up or you can just kind of scooch your booty over to the other side. I'm going to switch my chair around again so I can face you. So find your sweet spot here if you're kind of catty cornered. And we're going to do those gentle active twists to the right. So hands towards center. Inhale, soften the pelvic floor. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. One more time. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the right. Release. This time, inhale, circle, swoop the arms up. Exhale, twist to the right and find a position with those arms holding on to the back of the chair. You're sitting up nice and tall, and you want to feel the twist mostly in this upper spine, this thoracic spine, right? And just begin to find your rib cage breath here. Gentle, as you find this traction with the back of the chair, maybe find a bit more space to move into the twist with a nice long spine, reaching up through the crown of the head. Breathe into the rib cage. Go ahead and release, come back to center. Take a moment, notice how you feel. How does your breath feel? Does it feel more expansive? Does your rib cage feel new sensations in it? Side body stretches next. Inhale, both arms up. The outside left arm is going to reach across the body to find a grip on the chair. Adjust however you need to. Maybe you have to kind of lift up a boob or something, do whatever you need to do. And then on your exhale, reach that right arm up and over to the left. Open up the set of gills. And help pull yourself back up. Gently come back to center, release the arm, feel the blood flow back into the arm. You can come back to center on your chair. And let's find that kind of half lean forward with our forearms either on our shins. I actually really recommend it with a pillow or a bolster or something on your thighs because it still gives your spine some space for movement. And especially if you have osteoporosis, this is a much preferred position to just give you and your spine the support that you need. Let's find our cat-cow here with the forearms here as you gently press your forearms into the bolster or the thighs and pull the chest through, lift the chin out of the chest, maybe find and move into the movement, the space that you just created with the twists. Exhale, tuck and round. This is a great place for horse lips here. Inhale, exhale. It's okay if your horse lips aren't making much sound. Sometimes it takes, you may need a drink of water, or just need to continue practicing softening through the face muscles. And find a nice neutral spine. You can stay here. And remember those swimming arms we did with the twist? As you inhale, that right arm can reach back and open the chest to the side as you swim the arm forward. We're going to move into that. So you can stay here. This is a great place to be. If you find that you have plenty of range of motion and you want to get in a bit further and you don't have osteoporosis, you can bring this more into a forward fold. And I have blocks for this, and I highly recommend having something to bring the ground up a little bit closer to you. Even if you can reach your hands to the ground here, it's not necessary, and I don't really recommend it, again, because you're crunching yourself over and you don't have this space in the spine to find movement. So hands can come onto blocks. I have them on the highest setting, so they are the tallest they can be. And you might find a little cat-cow here just to adjust to the space. And if it feels secure, you can have forearms on thighs. Maybe the blocks feel like a stretch. And find those swimming arms as you kind of twist the spine open, spiral the rib cage open towards that side. Swim the arm up, plant the other hand or the forearm on the thigh, swim the other arm. I like to inhale as you sweep it back. Exhale, bring it back in one more time. Even yourself out if you need to, one more. And here we go. Go ahead and come back up. Hands can come to thighs. So you press yourself back up. We're going to find our perineum resisted breath that we did yesterday. You can do it again, just visualizing with no tool, or you can use your strap to roll up the end, or your hand towel, whatever it may be. Or you can use your hand. Maybe today I'll demonstrate with the strap. Actually, I won't, because I am on my bleed. Maybe that's too much information to share, but I think it should be more normalized because it's a very big part of our lives for a season, right? It's not forever, but yeah, anyway, I'll take my hands and I'm gonna bring it under, set either your bolster, your hand under, find that perineum, okay? And just take a little breath here to settle in. My legs are nice and wide. Begin to visualize your two diaphragms, the respiratory diaphragm and your pelvic floor diaphragm. Big inhale all the way down into the pelvis. Expand, feel yourself softening and opening up through the pelvic floor. And exhale, everything kind of lifts and moves back up. Inhale. Exhale. One more regular breath. Notice if you feel the expansion in your hand or the pelvic floor. Now we're going to find our resisted breath. So hand to the belly. On your next exhale, pull the belly in away from your hand. Engage those abdominal muscles and resist the inhale. So the inhale is going to be trying to push into the belly, but you're going to keep contracted, and that's going to send the pressure of the inhale into the pelvic floor. So find that expansion, soften, let it open up. One more time. Release your belly. Release, release, release. An option, if you're finding the relaxation, you're finding the release, we can add in that pelvic contraction, or the strings exercise is what it's called. So think of all 4 points of the connections of the pelvic floor on the pelvis and imagine strings, okay? Inhale, the strings stretch and open up wide. And exhale, the strings pull together towards the center. Notice if your glutes and your belly want to engage, can you soften the belly and the glutes and just let the pelvic floor work here. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, spread wide, expand, soften, lengthen. Exhale, contract, shorten, pull them towards the center. Even if you're just visualizing, okay? Go ahead and release. You can bring your hand out. Notice if that was any different than yesterday. You can close your legs, take any movement you need. I'm going to put a blanket underneath my sitting bones now. And we are going to begin winding down with a little self-massage. I'm going to show you what I like to use. Again, you can just use your hands. That is a great tool that we have, right? But there are these yoga tune-up balls, and they're myofascial release balls, so massage balls. And you can do like we did yesterday with a thumb on the jaw. If you can also use a potato, right? If you want to use what you have, I'm all about using what we have. A potato will work okay, a tennis ball, maybe the one that your dog hasn't chewed up. And I place it, you can clench the jaw just to feel the muscle where it is. You can feel it kind of, if you see mine. And that's where you'll put it. And just a gentle press in, like a massage. You're pressing into the knot. Big breath, soften. Release the jaw, maybe open it up wide. This is so good to continue to do. So that's why we're doing it again. And maybe you press in and just find a little twist. Release. Notice the difference from side to side. Let's move to the other side. Thumb, potato, tennis ball, ball. Okay. Find your muscle, your jaw muscle. Gentle press in. You don't want to do it too hard. It's just gentle. Open up wide. Maybe find a gentle twist of the tool. Nice smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. We won't do this today, but this is also really nice for the neck. It's good for a lot of things, but this is not what this class is about today. But another time. Continue with a little bit of massage if you feel you need any more on one side. You want to get the ears feel so good. Okay, and we're going to do our little somatic pitter patters, starting with the head. Gentle pitter patter on top of the head, the whole scalp. Great for blood circulation. It's good for the nervous system, lymphatic flow. Going down the face. And the sides of the neck. And then you come to the shoulders, they turn into pats. So go down the arms, get the top and the bottom. Down the sides, under the armpit. That's a good place to get into. The belly, the back the best you can. Get the back of your hips. Maybe your hands turn into little fists where the legs get on top of the thighs. The sides. The inside of the thighs. And going down your legs, if you have a little coffee table or something you want to lift your leg up on, or maybe you can cross it over your other thigh. Blocks are really handy for that. To get your calf, the front of the shin, maybe a little pat on top of the foot. Work all the way up that leg, down the other. And then work your way back up. Pat, pat, pat. Remember coming back to the fingertips when you get to the neck. And when you finish, you can keep your eyes closed. We'll find our final resting posture. You can lean all the way back into the chair. You do have the option to build that child's pose tower if you have blocks and a bolster and all the things to build that tower up to where you can rest your forehead on it. Or maybe you grab that heavy blanket, a quilt, or whatever you have. Just lay it on your lap and place your forearms on it. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And just feel, actually, imagine a big yellow sun right above your head, this big yellow circle. It's so bright and yellow, and you can almost feel its warmth. And now imagine this circle being punctured at the bottom, and this warm, comforting yellow liquid begins to pour into your body. And you feel it, sense it, visualize it pouring down into the toes. They warm and soften and ease the toes, the sole of the foot. It's filling up, coming up through the ankles, finding softness. Moving up the calves, you can feel the warmth as it fills your body up to the knees, bringing ease and comfort. It continues up the thighs. And it starts filling up the pelvis, and you feel a sense of softness and ease, warmth. It begins filling up the belly, softening the organs, the connective tissues, ligaments, the bones. It continues to come up the rib cage and the chest. This liquid begins to pour into the arms, filling up the fingers, the hands, the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, making you feel heavy and relaxed. Fills up the shoulders, the sides of the neck, and it fills up your face all the way from your mouth, your nose, your eyes to the very tippy top of your scalp. And just take a moment here to feel fully relaxed and supported. And breathing naturally and easily, effortlessly. Relax the jaw, relax any effort in the pelvic floor. Just sit here in silence and stillness for a moment, and I will bring you out with the sound of the bell. Again, just bringing your mind, your awareness back into this present moment, back into your body. Take a moment to notice how your body feels. Notice how it's responding to the movement, the breath, your presence with it. Remember your intention. You can leave your hands where they are, bring them anywhere you feel comfortable and connected to yourself. Send yourself a mental note of gratitude for showing up for yourself today, so you can show up in the world how you want to, as a better or best version of yourself. We can't care for others unless we care for ourselves. And go ahead and bring your hands towards the earth and gratitude towards the earth, for its beauty and bounty. Palms come together up overhead, gratitude to the great mystery. Hands to forehead, gratitude to our ancestors, our lineages, our teachers, all those who have come before us, the teachings and traditions of yoga that originated in India. And hands to your heart, gratitude for yourself, for your body, for each other, for family, friends, and our communities. And we'll bow in gratitude to all. Thank you so much for allowing me into your home and to be a part of this journey with you. Keep up the good work, and thank you so much.